Hi, everyone. So, I am still working on my autism course that I will go into, whenever it gets done, which will be sometime in the very near future. But I just finished up a section on selective mutism, and I don't remember ever talking about that on here. And so like, I don't know, I spent like an hour gathering info and stuff on it, and it's not like I haven't heard of selective mutism before, but like, I am going through this information and I'm starting to get really pissed because I don't like that word selective because it makes it sound like we do this shit on purpose and we don't. Like, I can't stop thinking about I hated when I was growing up, my mother would be like, um, you have selective hearing. Like, you only hear what you want to. Like, no, bitch. No. Now I know why. Like, I have so many, like, audio processing issues. Well, not so many. You can only have one, right? Oh my God. Um, well, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. It's all a big issue. But I got very irritated because it's not selective. And I want to say, I wish I could give credit to whoever said this because I was listening to somebody's podcast months ago and I remember them using the word situational in place of selective. So it would be called situational mutism, which, boy, doesn't that sound way fucking better? Just way better than making it sound like we have decided that, you know what, we're just done talking and we're stopping, and then that's it, and then we're just going to make it really awkward. You're going to be like, what the fuck is going on? Why all of a sudden did you stop talking? Are you doing this to annoy me? Are you being a dick? Like, you know what I mean? Oh, you going to make an appearance? Hi, say hi. Hmm. Who's this? This is Xena, aka Bitchy, aka Burrito, Roly Poly, Patches. She's got all her fur back in now. Yeah, I'm really sorry that I was feeding you poison food. I did not know. But anyways, that's really all I got on here to say. This is not planned. I needed to like just say this out loud, even though I kind of already did when I was doing the recording. I just wanted to make another recording and just get all of it out of my system that, you know what, this shit is not on purpose. And, oh my God, like I can recall so many situations where this has happened to me. And it's not like I knew what the fuck was going on. I didn't know what it was. Because like when you don't have the knowledge of, mutism, so I have to say selective mutism. I don't like that word, but whatever. I mean, like when you have if you don't have the knowledge of like what the fuck that is or that something like that is possible, you don't know what's happening. So like there's been times, so many, probably all of them, where like it happens and the other person or people just stare at you like you're some exhibit at a zoo or something, like some like, oh, what the fuck is this? I've never seen this before. Um, and you're just staring right back, terrified because you're in your head, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, like why can't I talk? Like what's going on? Like you're thinking all of these things in your head, and they all are very coherent, and you do want to say them, and they will not fucking leave your mouth. Like you can't make that connection from the brain to the mouth, which to me it's kind of that's fascinating, but I don't have the bandwidth to sit there and figure out like teach myself neurological shit. you know, I just think that's really cool that that happens, but also not because we don't want to go through that. Um, but yeah, like I have been told, it's like you're it's a weird experience to be told that you're doing something or you're being a certain way when like that is the farthest thing from the truth. And it's not even like the person is sounding like they're sharing a perception or, hey, it seems like this. No, they're telling you this is what you're doing as if it's fact. And then they run with it like it is fact. Like, oh, you're being like stubborn right now. That's why you're not talking. Or, oh, you don't like what I just said? You got nothing to say? Like I've had those. Then I've had the opposite reaction where people are like, what are you doing? And they just were just staring at each other, like our eyes are wide, our mouths are open, and only one of us can actually get something to come out of their mouth. So yeah, I mean, these have been very embarrassing situations for me. And when I learned about this, because this isn't the first time I've heard or learned about, like months ago, like this was like, I don't know, within the first 6 months of finding out that I'm autistic, I learned that there's this concept of like where you just can't talk. And I am framing the language in the lesson as it seems impossible. But in the audio version, I'm saying like, well, actually, it is possible, like when that happens to you, it's like it seems like you can't get your words back, but like sometimes you can get some things out. But like then there's times where just nothing comes out. And I can't imagine what that must be like um all the time because there's nonverbal people and I constantly wonder about that experience. Just out of curiosity, like I want to know, like, because even though I've had experiences where like I lost my words, that I still can't fathom what it must be like to want to speak but not be able to. Like, I need to do some more research on this too, because like I don't know how that's possible. And I also want to know what do are there books on this stuff? Like, did anybody write a book about their experience? Because like, what is it like living with the inability to speak? Gosh, like that must be so difficult. Does anybody have any recommendations? Like, I truly want to learn more about this, and I want to learn like what somebody's experience living as a nonverbal adult is like. I know that's not even what I'm talking about. I just went from like selective mutism to being just completely nonverbal, but it's all very interesting. But I just wanted to get on here and say that um one, it needs to not be called selective mutism. I'm just gonna call it situational mutism, but I kind of feel like, am I allowed to do that if like the majority of us are not using that word yet? You know? Um, but I do remember the day that I learned about this. I don't remember like what I was reading. I don't remember like what I like if I was listening to something. I just remember the feeling of connecting like, oh, there is a term for when this happens to me. There's an explanation that this is what's going on when I can't speak. And thank goodness, because, 2 years into knowing I'm autistic, I am still finding out all of this new shit thanks to other autistic people, like, writing about it and talking about it and stuff. So, like, there's still so much to learn. But I wanted to just say that if there's anybody out there that, like, maybe you haven't heard this term before. Um, Maybe this is new information for you. Who knows? But if you already know of it and you experience this, then, here's just somebody else identifying with a similar shared experience. But yeah, like this is what's going on if you didn't know. And it's nothing to be ashamed about whatsoever. You can't control this. You're not doing anything wrong. It's an involuntary response. Uh, and I really wish that this would get talked about more. Like maybe it is and I don't know about it, but I really think that this needs to be like just really thrown out there and talked about because this happens all the time to so many people on a regular basis. And then everybody else is just like, they don't know what to think of the situation because they don't know what the fuck is going on. And so, like, part of me does understand, like, the responses, except for the mean ones. I will never understand or appreciate or excuse somebody's mean ass response to something that, like, you're doing that you can't control. Even if like you're doing shit that like just don't be mean. But anyways, that's all I wanted down here and say. Um, I'm just gonna yeah, it's situational. I'm gonna title this situational. It is should I do that? I don't know if I'm allowed to. We'll see how I title this. Okay, thank you for listening. Not that that was important. The title doesn't fucking matter, but whatever. Okay, goodbye.